Oop. There we go. Testing, testing. There's no game audio yet, so it's more just a matter of, can you hear me? Do. Give it a minute to make sure that I am audible. Kaloo Kalay, it's the Frabjous Day. Can you hear me? Was that a yes to me being able to be heard? Yep. Fabulous. All right. Hello, hello. We are playing No Case Should Remain Unsolved, which I'm excited for. I've been meaning to play this one for a while, and I have kept putting it off, and so this stream is an excuse to play the game. So there's no game audio yet, so once game audio starts, we'll just double check that that's also audible. It does look like my chat overlay is working again, though, so I did fix that since the last one. I'm not completely a liar. Oh, there's music. Is that audible, and also how is volume? OBS says it's audible, but I don't trust OBS. You guys have got to tell me. I do like that, though. That's a lovely piano tune. Good and good. Fabulous. All right. Well, we're going to hop right in. Play. I realized I was a jellyfish. It's not where I expected this game to start, I'm going to be honest. I spent the past 70 years simply drifting through life with no heading in particular. Yeah, no, okay, I get it now. Blindly stinging everyone I encountered. Mood. Can you see it too? The people I tried to embrace, I only ended up hurting. Everywhere I went, I left nothing but ruin. So that's it. That's what I am. A jellyfish floating across the sea. I don't even remember why I once became a police detective. Look over there at that family weeping for their lost child. Have I ever done anything to wipe away their tears? A police station is a crucible of pain and grief. So why did I choose to enter that institution? Why did I think I could somehow offer people solace and hope? Maybe I was simply being selfish. Maybe I became a detective just so I could belong somewhere. I should stop now. I should stop wondering with nothing but regret on my lips. That's it then. The first good thing I'll ever have done for anyone. Everyone, I'm sorry for everything. A lot of dots happening here. Madam? Oh, is that us? Or is that someone else? If that's us, we look very mopey. Miss Jean-Gyong. Ah, Jean-Gyong. Who are you? Seiwon's ghost. Interesting. Remember that little girl? Choi Seiwon? Choi Seiwon. Seiwon? The girl who went missing? That's right, ma'am. Do you know what happened to that girl you brought back? Thanks to you, her family found peace. Do their lives look ruined to you? Doctors say my mind is like an old library without an index. I'm sorry, but I have no idea who you are. I see you're in uniform, so you couldn't be Sewon's ghost. Sewon, there's an E in there, I keep skipping. From the way you bring up my forgotten failure, I can only assume you're here to deliver judgment. The Educator, ooh, changing their assignment. Nice. I like that, that's fun. Ma'am, I'm not here to judge you. I only want to tell you about the life you lived. Your Honor, you already know what happened. I never brought Sewon home. The case ended the way her father, Choi Dongjeon, wanted. Dongjeon. Okay. I'm going to mess up a lot of names here. That's just going to happen, but I'm going to do my best. She disappeared forever, completely out of her mother's reach. Leave the case unsolved? We can do that, sir. Huh. Leave the case unsolved? We can't do that, sir. You mean you've already filed a missing persons case? Sewon's officially registered as a missing person, then? Then, please. That's good enough. Detective, I'm begging you. Please don't look for my daughter anymore. Stop asking where she is. Is the Dawn Gun? Oh, is like Dawn Gun. Oh, Dawn Gun. Okay. I will do my best to remember that as we go through. Keep her completely out of her mother's reach. Let her just live life somewhere. Just say that she went out to the playground like she always did and vanished. That's all. A perfect crime with no witnesses, no suspects. So please, please leave this case unsolved. He said the thing! I'll do anything. Please. I beg of you. So that's how you remember it? That was the last case I took before I resigned from the missing persons team. See how relieved I looked after what Choi Donggon said? That man knew. If he wanted to close the case and move on, we needed a good excuse. That my refusal was only customary, a front to cover up my cowardice. Ma'am, history is that certainty produced at the point where the imperfections of memory meet the inadequacies of documentation. What do you mean? I mean you just don't get it. Can you remember the beginning and the end of the case? Let me help you weave together the threads connecting the start to the finish. I think Sewon's mother called me to report the girl missing. Yes, I remember now. She said Sewon disappeared from the playground. Calm down, ma'am. Who am I speaking to again? Detective! Jeon-gyong, yes? Do you remember me? You came to check on Sewon the other day. I asked you not to ring the doorbell. Please tell me you remember. Detective, I'm scared. Please hurry. She's gone. Sewon is gone. She was just at the playground. When did you last see her at the playground? Exactly 3:33 in the afternoon. Interesting time. Sewon. Sewon. I will, do my best to remember that. Detective, she disappeared 3 hours ago. We've looked everywhere. A 7-year-old girl could have gone alone. What do we do now? I'm trying not to panic, but the worst is all that comes to mind. You're turning yourself in? Yes, I would like to surrender to the police. I am responsible. The little girl went missing from the playground, didn't she? 3 days ago? She was with me. I took her away. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. I did it because I needed the money. I'm sorry. What do you mean it's all your responsibility? Detective, the truth is, she's dead. Sawon is dead. She's been dead all this time. Interesting, we're getting bits and pieces. Your Honor, that's all I remember about the case. Now I understand why you've come to me, here at the final crossroads, why you want me to remember the beginning and the end. You're the gatekeeper of time and space. I'm just gonna keep changing their title. I had to put it completely out of my mind. Was I trying to forget those memories because I felt guilty? The man who took her turned himself in, but I pretended it never happened. And the girl, she was already dead, but I pretended not to know. I'm sorry. Someone like me doesn't deserve peace. Ma'am, it's all right. Don't be afraid. I don't care what you want to call me, but you have to know that this isn't the end of the road. You're not bound for hell or purgatory. Now think back. Sawon disappeared from the playground, right? Try to recall everything you can about the location. I can see more fragments now. I see them. But they're so faint, like scars faded with age. No, you're doing great. Once you've brought up the fragments, try connecting them together. Build a chain of recollections. Even a dried-out ravine can be a river again when the water returns. Interesting. Okay. So that says playground. So linking playground seems to bring up some subcategories. It's all right again. It's all right. Again, was there anything unusual about Sawon's activities that day? Or activities today? It's all right. Again, was there anything unusual about Sawon's activities today? No, it was all business as usual. She goes to kindergarten on weekdays, and we go to the playground on weekends as a family. We have 2 playgrounds in the condo complex. Normally, we alternate between them. I go along sometimes, but one of them isn't wheelchair accessible, so Hye-young has to take the kids on her own. Wait, recently they've only been going to the one playground. Hye-young said the kids asked to go there today, too. If only they'd gone to the other playground. On the way back, they sometimes drop by the stationery store near the complex entrance. The place is called Apollo. Sowon loves getting candy there. Little girl went missing from the playground. Just say that she went out to the playground like she always did. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Try to think about it, okay? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but try to think about it, okay? See if you can remember someone you didn't usually see at the playground. I heard you were all together there. Sawon, your mother, and you too, Hyungo. Myungo. Yeah, we were all together. That looks like a kid lying. Did you see any suspicious individuals when you went to pick up Sowon? Or anything out of the ordinary? It's exactly as my daughter said. I was so sure Sowon would be at the playground, but when I got there, I didn't see her. So I assumed my daughter took her along. Then my daughter came downstairs and looked at me with her eyes wide, and I thought, oh no. Detective, I think you might be making a mountain out of a molehill. I don't know if my daughter told you, but Sowon goes alone to places all the time. My daughter worries easily, but mark my words, the girl always wanders back in time for dinner. Please don't worry about it. I'll have a stern word with my daughter, honestly. I can't believe she's gone and called you. Think back to the testimonies about the playground. Who do you think those people were? People? The testimonies were all from one person. Weren't they? Ma'am, life is a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Jigsaw puzzle master. She goes to kindergarten on weekdays. So it's telling me to make that him. Change the order up. Okay. Your memories are scrambled and misaligned. But each fragment, each moment connects with another. Look at the connections closely and you'll figure out what the pieces, where the pieces belong. Who said these things and in what order? And then what? What does that change? Who knows? Maybe if you connect enough pieces, you might discover a key. A key that unlocks the face of the person putting the puzzle back together. Okay. She disappeared 3 hours ago, gone alone. Seiwon, your mother, and you too. So this is not him. Let's see. Exactly as my daughter said. Nope, that's a different parent. Okay, so I've got more things to look into. Let's do 3 hours. How do you remember the time so precisely? My phone's call history. I never leave the children alone when we're out together. But then I got a phone call. I don't usually get phone calls in the afternoon. I think I panicked. The first thing that came to mind was that I had to pick up somewhere quiet so I could hear. So I ducked into the condo hallway. The call history is 5 minutes long, but she disappeared in less than that. I know because I looked up partway through the conversation and she was already gone. Why didn't you report any of this to the authorities? Aha. Need a key to unlock this conversation. Okay. So that one... is the other mother. Phone call. Even more stuff to look into. Okay. Stay on the line. I'm on my way. Could you tell me what happened? I got a call from my mother. Seiwon's grandmother. She said, I'm at the store outside the condo complex and security called saying the fire alarm was going off in the house. A security guard went over to my mother's house to check, but he couldn't open the door. So she asked me to go and open it for her. I chewed her out. She knew I couldn't bring Seiwon somewhere so dangerous. I told her to go herself, but she was so stubborn. Mom said she could get to the playground and pick up Seiwon faster than she could get home, so I should rush over to her house and make sure everything was fine at her place, that she would be there soon. She said that made the most sense. She was going to wait for me with Seiwon outside the building. I went to Mom's house and the security guard was there. I opened the door for him and the place was filled with smoke. I don't know what she was cooking on that stove, but the pot was burnt black. The guard turned off the stove and opened the windows, but all I could think of was Seiwon. How glad I was that I didn't bring her to such a dangerous place and that the fire didn't get any worse. I ran back into the elevator. It was only a few minutes, I swear. I found them waiting for me outside the building, just like she promised. but when I asked her where Sowon was, she said, I thought you took her with you. Detective, are you here yet? Interesting. Who were you on the phone with? Okay, so I've got to go back up to get that one. Promised. Silence is a heavy burden for a 5th grader, but he refused to give in. Okay. Oh, so I can kind of... I have to open a lock conversation to get this. So let's close that. Let's think about this. This is someone's mother, that's correct. Let's move it up. One more. Okay. Do you remember me? Doorbell. Interesting. Hello, Madam Senior Inspector Jeon Gyeong from the Hwamyong Police Station. You would be Sowon's mother, correct? I'm just here to see Sowon, if that's all right. Oh my gosh. You scared me, Detective. I was expecting the delivery man. Could you please knock instead of ring the doorbell next time? My daughter's taking a nap. She dozed off in front of the TV while I was washing the rice. I just tucked her in. Come inside. Fast asleep, see? Oh, I suppose you can't really tell under the blanket. She must be tired, the poor thing. Sowon and I were out and about all day yesterday. She slept in this morning, too. I swear kids grow up so fast. She's gotten so much taller that barely anything fits anymore. I had to do all her shopping at once. First day of school is only a month away and there's so much to buy. Oh, I hope she wakes up soon so we can eat and get her uniform fitted. I'm sorry, Detective. You might have to wait a while before she wakes up. So, what brings you here? Okay, taller. I have to unlock something to get that. So let's come back to those in a second. This needs to go up. For sure, because this is before. This was the first call with her. Or the first visit with her. So we saw her at this occurrence and talked with her. And then after that, she called to talk to the detective. And then that conversation continues from there. Okay. So let's skip back down here. Oh, I don't think that I can open any of these yet until I have to look back at something relevant. I feel like we already looked at... Yeah, so we've looked at everything we can for Promised. Goes alone. Does Sowon have any favorite places near the playground? Somewhere she might have wandered off to on her own. Wandered off? She didn't stroll away somewhere. She's been kidnapped. All possibilities are on the table? As if. Get off your chairs and do something. We're running out of time here. Mobilize the force. Get those cruisers on the streets. Anything. Tick-tock, Detective. Who knows what they're going to do to her? And you're sitting here asking where she's gone on her own? Damn it. Damn it. I'm sorry, Detective. I know you're doing everything you can. So, I don't know who this one is. Let's keep unlocking these. Called. When were you on the phone? Who were you on the phone with? There we go. Who were you on the phone with on the afternoon of February 3rd? Well, our office isn't exactly well-staffed, so I'm the one doing most of the phone duties. Yeong on the afternoon of the 3rd? Employees complain if we check in too often, so we don't usually do that, and there's not much to call about in the afternoon. Wait a second. Ah, I see, I did call, but it wasn't for anything special. There's going to be... what was it now? A Best Caregiver Award ceremony in a few days. So we asked if she could make it like... we have more than 100 caregivers working with us, but no one wanted to show. I think that was the gist of the call. I kind of regretted calling her. I mean, she's not the type to do that kind of company spirit event. You've talked to her, right? Can't even have a nice long chat. She's always cutting calls short. Something about being too busy with the kids? Has she even come into the office recently? So what's all this about? I mean, as long as she's doing her job, right? But a police visit? Really? She's not exactly a slacker. What's going on here? Police. Interesting. How does Myung-ho feel? It must have been a big change for him. Your station searched the park in the neighborhood, right, Detective? The one with the pond? The weeping willow trees by the water? They're lonely to look at. I took a stroll there last year with Myunggo and Hyeyoung, and the trees reminded me of Myunggo. He looks like he's at the mercy of the world sometimes, but the truth is, he's the most unyielding boy you'll meet. For children and adults too, I suppose. A death in the family is apparently like experiencing your universe collapse. Rebuilding from those ruins was a time-consuming journey, but I think Myunggo's managed quite well in his own right. I don't know if you noticed, but there's something he's always carries around. Never leaves home without it. Time again. Okay, nothing we can do with time yet. A death in the family. Nothing we can do with death yet either. Best Caregiver Award. Nope, nothing we can do with that one. We've got a lot of open leads. Claims to be the culprit behind the disappearances. He claims to be the... oh, disappearance, not disappearances. He claims to be the culprit behind the disappearance. Sawon's father has surrendered himself to us. No, Detective, you can't. Don't believe a word of what he says. I'll be at the station immediately. Everything he says is a lie. It was me. I made him do it. It's all my fault. I'll be right there, Detective. Don't you listen to anything he tells you. It's my responsibility. I feel like this is... oh, I don't know who several of these are yet. Interesting. Let's move it back to the mother, because I've got to figure out... okay, Shin Hye-young, so I have to click the names to add them to my list. Okay. And that also fills in their relationships. The grandmother. I like this a lot. Apollo Stationery, which is a location. Young, I've already got him. And for any other names I'm missing. Let's see. feel like this is the grandmother. I see your mother has contacted you. I see your mother has contacted you. It's exactly as you heard. Will you be coming to the police station together? That man was never one for prayer. No matter how deep you dug, he said the spade would never know the smell of the earth. Yo, mama. Not my mother, his mother. He refused to pray even once as our baby lay sick in the hospital. That's why he doesn't understand that prayer is the reason we've been so blessed. All he ever did was get angry that he couldn't change anything with his own abilities. You said he turned himself in? If he really did take her, maybe it was because he couldn't afford child support payments. He's been complaining since last summer about how he was having a hard time keeping up with the payment schedule. I told him that this was a critical time in someone's life, that he had to get his act together. We may be divorced, but he's still her father. Even now, I suppose he's still trying to change things himself, without even trying to pray. Tell him to get good, man. Gamer culture is telling me that you're not trying hard enough. Police station, city hall, you said, and have you contacted someone's father? Have you contacted someone's father, which I think is going to be to the mom on the main phone call. I keep calling him, but he won't pick up. It's not out of the ordinary. We only meet for her birthdays. But this is an emergency. His own daughter is missing. Detective, I was texting him on that day you came from the police station. Someone's always such a quiet girl, but she was chatting about how much happier she'd be if her father was here too. So I asked him if he'd come by and say hello, but he's heartless, that man. Okay, so this is definitely someone's mother talking. It belongs somewhere in the phone call, so we'll start moving it up. Wish there was a faster way to do this, but that's okay. Call history 5 minutes long, disappeared in less. This is not someone. This is someone, or this is not someone's mother. This is someone else, but I don't know who. How do you lose a whole... I know, right? How do you lose a whole ass person? A lot of irresponsibility happening here. Death? Okay, stuff that I can't unlock yet. You know what? I need to look for the ones that are flashing. Those are the ones that I can actually do something with. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, case unsolved. I have to open the lock that connects this conversation. Okay. So this is someone's father. Kindergarten. Can you tell me anything about someone's life at kindergarten? I've already explained everything to the other officers on the phone, Detective. Is she still missing? How could someone take her away in broad daylight in the middle of a condo complex? I heard her mother and brother were with her. They didn't see anything? I don't know if this will help, but, well, you asked me to tell you anything, so I guess I will. Someone is always optimistic and cheerful. She started at Eden last year, and I was surprised that she never shied away from any of us teachers. At first, I just took her for a friendly child. Then I realized that her brother came to pick her up instead of her mother, but she never asked where her mother was. No, not that. That's a problem. No, not that that's a problem, not at all, but... Well, how should I put this? I suppose I've never seen her cry or get angry or even frown. So I always feel like I want to keep a closer eye on her, make sure she's okay. She's going to need a lot of attention and guidance. She's so cheerful and bright, but in a strangely fragile way. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is the ex-English teacher, I'm guessing. We're gonna swamp that over here. I'm gonna click on brother. It's gonna tell us that he exists, and Eden, which opens the school as a possibility to drop some stuff. Yeah, it's not a real kid. It's a whole-ass anime character. Hashtag cry. That is, in fact, a command. Everybody has to hashtag cry now. About the kindergarten teacher's testimony. I'm so grateful to her. I had no idea that she was keeping such a close eye on So-Won. There's something So-Won always says to me. Mommy's the saddest person in the world. Wow! When the kid is saying Mom's the saddest person in the world, that's something. She never says that when her father is around, of course, but I think I understand what she means now. So-Won genuinely thinks that way. She couldn't handle it otherwise. No child is constantly friendly and well-behaved. That's a skinwalker. Yeah. Well, okay, so, like, children who are suffering incredible trauma might be friendly and well-behaved, but that's because they are masking all of their own troubles in order to try to basically parentify themselves, and it's not good either way. That's why she refuses to cry, because then that makes her the saddest person instead of her mom. She couldn't handle it if she were the saddest person in the world, getting pity from everyone. That's probably how she sees it at all. She's still so young. Children who are forced to grow up fast end up with better control of their emotions, and that breaks my heart. So this is about the teachers and talking about the mom, so it's neither of them. So you're saying to give children trauma to keep them in... Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have to traumatize the children for the future. I feel like maybe this could be the grandmother. I'm not locking that in, but this could be the grandmother. And I can move it later if I change my mind. Let's see. Unless this is a permadeath game, in which case I've made my choice and I must live with it. Candy! Could you tell me now what happened when last you saw So-Won? I'm pretty sure there's going to be the Apollo candy store. We always used to buy So-Won candy from the stationery store on the way home. Okay, no, so this is someone else. But we didn't buy her candy recently because Auntie doesn't come out with us anymore. I told So-Won to stay where she was and went to the stationery store. I ran right over. The stationery store is just up the steps over the fence. It's really quick, I swear. I was only there for a bit, and I ran back, but she wasn't there. I called her name like So-Won, but she didn't come. Only Auntie did. I started crying, and Auntie said I shouldn't tell anyone she wasn't with us. She told me not to say anything at all. Just like that monkey we saw at the temple. Okay, so that's the brother. Reason to suspect So-Won's mother. Not yet. Hold on, let's continue cementing some things in place. So this is So-Won's brother. Swamp. Auntie wasn't with them, but I can't click on Auntie because I don't have a name to go with it. Not to say anything. Okay. Was your son still there? I was under the impression that... So long, So-Won. Yep. Bye! He wanted to run to the store to get candy, and he left his sister, and she vanished. So really, it's the kid's fault. Like, 100%, there is no part of me that thinks any other party even remotely could be guilty. I've clicked away from the game like a psychopath. Give me a second. I made the silly mistake of restarting my computer before I played this, so Now I've got to reopen my soundboard. This is what I get for not being prepared. Feel free to mock me. It's okay, I understand. There we go. Fabulous. Cool, I've got my soundboard again. It's okay if you don't want to talk. I don't mind waiting. Yeah, this is definitely a continuation of his conversation, so we'll do that one and then we'll come back to the other one. But, Myongo, could you promise me that once you're ready, you'll talk to me? Some really good art in this game, too. I know, I'm such a, like, unprofessional streamer. Negative 10 out of 10. Stationery store. So this we talk more about. Do you happen to see this boy when you went to the playground to find Sawan? We've recent testimony that Sawan is a regular at your stationery store. Okay, we'll hit that one and then we'll come back to the other one. Did anyone from her family drop in today, or Sawan herself on her own? Today? No, not Sawan, and not her brother either. May I ask what the police want with them? You're not the first to come looking for her today. Is this about Myongo's mother? The thing is, Myongo's only been coming with Sawan these days. He used to come with his mother all the time when he was younger, but I haven't seen her in quite a while. Is she doing all right? Okay, so this is the Apollo candy store. Or Apollo Stationery, which carries candy. Someone's brother. No. On her own. I don't think I've got any. Oh, wait, yep. Has someone ever wandered off alone before? Not quite the way I would have connected that, but... Is that really possible? Detective, I think it might be my fault she's gone. I was in the hospital for a long time after I had Sawan. I couldn't care for her because I was bedridden. But since we both spent so much time looking up at the hospital ceiling, I thought I might be able to understand her better. Now, though, I'm not so sure. Do you think she resents me? Is that why she won't call me Mom? Is that why she's always so hard to find? I have to scour all the playgrounds to find her. So, Kid has a habit of disappearing. Several things to look at. Okay, let's pop down here. Is there a special meaning to Sawan's name? Sawan was born at 23 weeks. She weighed less than 700 grams. Her mother had just come out of the C-section and was about to get transferred to the ICU with her baby, but the nurse called for me. It was only for a second, but she let me see Sawan. Sawan reminded me of Thumbelina, a fragile, precious little princess nestled in a bright red flower. She was so light I could barely feel her in my arms. I was scared she might float away if I so much as breathed in her direction. The nurse told me to have a look, but I didn't know how. I could barely see through my tears. I couldn't even get a proper look at my precious baby girl. And then, the first thing I did after the confusing meeting, I registered her birth. I sprinted straight from the hospital to City Hall, registration desk. I didn't stop to catch my breath. Then I wrote down her name, Seo Wan. That's Seo for rhinoceros and Wan for origin. It's an unusual name, I know. At the time, I was thinking of the old saying about marching forward like the lone horn of the rhino. I thought of that strength. I put all my weight into each stroke of the pen, every last one, hoping that the fragile piece of paper might help her somehow. That it might help root her to life, like a powerful anchor that kept her moored to us. Okay, so that's the dad. We'll come back to him. He turns himself in for her murder, which is interesting. I have to open and lock that connects this conversation. So I don't have the key for that yet. I'm missing several things. Interesting. Lie. Everything he says is a lie. This was when the grandmother was saying that he didn't, in fact, murder. You've received testimony that directly contradicts your claim. I have to open a lock that connects this conversation. Okay. So we can't do anything with lie yet. Let's see, what am I missing? Hashtag police. City Hall, you said? So this is probably going to be part of the dad's. That's right, Chief. How are you? I'm from... Oh, no, this is something different. I'm from the Kwamyong City Hall Administrative Office. It's that time of year. 4 kids slated to start school this year in your district didn't show up to pre-entrance day. Interesting. I'm just calling for your cooperation. We spoke with all their families over the phone. They all said they were on vacation overseas or busy with other things. That sort of thing. I mean, elementary school classes haven't even started yet, so I'm going to report that everything looks fine. But we do have to make sure the paperwork is all there. We're working on the police assistance request forms right now. They'll say that local police stations dispatch personnel to all the absentees' households for welfare checks at the school board's request. Imagine that, Chief. It's like a free bonus, and our compensation for external personnel requisitions is pretty solid if you ask me. Once you get the forms, send us your personal roster with their direct deposit information attached, and we'll take care of things on this end. Wow. Hey, some kids might be missing, but like... It's fine. We're just gonna, we'll fill out the paperwork and it'll look official. Okay, this does give us several things. You seem to know someone's family well. You received the notice from the school board, correct? It says in our files that she didn't attend pre-entrance day. We received testimony that you spoke on the phone with City Hall employee and told them Sawan couldn't attend pre-entrance day for personal reasons. Ooh. Let's do this one. Law enforcement plus money. Yep, the fastest recipe for corruption. I'm just here to check in and make sure everything's all right. The world's a dangerous place these days. I've been told City Hall personnel have spoken with Sawan's grandmother already, but I just wanted to be sure. Is Sawan all right? Of course she is, Detective. You must have your hands full checking up on every absence in the district. You'll see once she wakes up, Sawan's healthy as a horse now. She'll have no trouble going to school. All that time in the hospital was tough on her, but she's grown up so strong. I'm proud of her. Sawan's been no end of trouble since I was pregnant with her. I think she takes after her father. She was born premature. The doctors scared us every time we went in for a checkup about how one thing could go wrong and then something else, and on and on. I don't remember how many waivers and consent forms I had to sign, but I always knew she'd be all right. How those little hands were going to get bigger and stronger one day. No need to worry. I'm taking good care of her. Sawan's father and I are no longer together, but my mother and I are doing our best to give her everything she needs. And I'll make sure she comes out the first day to school. Thank you for checking in. Ah, I think the rice is ready. Would you like to join us for food, Detective? Okay, so there's things to click on here, but I know where this goes. This is definitely Sawan's mother. And this was before the investigation started. It should be the second thing in this stack by the time we're done. And there may be some other things to fit in between it, but... Aha! I'm a genius! Look at me go. I did the bare minimum and it worked. Okay, someone's grandmother, which will just do that and then kick me back here, but it'll mark that I've looked at it. Hospital. Has nothing I can unlock right now. Okay. Someone's gone. She was just at the playground. Big brain. Galaxy brain. There's something that belongs between here. This belongs here. Afternoon detective. I'm trying not to panic, but... Okay, got a phone call. Trying not to panic. This is about the call with her mother. This one is the brother. We're trying... Okay. And we're gonna see if we can't puzzle out where this one goes. Oh, well. I didn't have to puzzle too hard. There it goes. We always used to buy someone candy. Just like that monkey we saw at the temple. Not supposed to say. I'm not sure if this is the start of the conversation or if this was the start of it. Could you tell me what happened when you last saw someone? No, so that's later in the conversation. Could you promise me that once you're ready, you don't have to answer, but... Okay. Yeah. Good, good, good. We are making... And promise with stuff I can't do yet. Yep, promise with stuff I can't do yet. Police lies. Received testimony that directly contradicts your claim. Proof that shopkeeper is lying. So... He says that he went to the store alone, but just because he said it, that's not, like, proof. So I think we gotta come back to that one. Or maybe we don't. Hold on. There we go. Okay, no, yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, call him out. So now I can open that the next time I click something that leads to it. Okay. Certificate. The day someone disappeared. I don't have a date for that yet. We know you weren't at the playground. Okay. We're getting there. Aha! We received testimony that directly contradicts your claim. Ah, you're back, which means you're still searching, I take it. I tried to think of anyone suspicious I might have seen in the area, but nothing. But the truth is, well, yes, Myongo was here. I'm sorry for lying to you. I didn't think it was important. Well, you see, I didn't want you to think badly of Myongo. He's a good boy at heart. I'm very sorry, I truly am. I should have told you up front. What time? Did he come to the store again? Ah, a little after 3:30, I believe, which lines up with the time of the phone call. Well, nothing was out of the ordinary. He looked like he was in a rush, and when I asked, he said he had to go back quick. He went straight to the usual candy shelf and picked out a bag, so I assumed it was for Swan. It's her favorite brand, you know, the pink candy that's so big your cheeks puff up like a squirrel. I told you before, Myongo is very mature for his years, but that day I saw him squatting in front of the greeting card shelf for a long time with the candy still in hand. Eventually he came up to the counter and paid for the candy, but he wouldn't look me in the eye. I thought it was strange, so I went over to check the shelf and, well, one of the cards was gone. I was disappointed in the boy, of course. Made up my mind to give him a stern talking to, but at the same time, well, I felt sorry for him. I can only imagine what went through his mind when he was squatting there in front of that shelf. Kid's a shoplifter. We cannot allow that.
Throw the kid in the pit, he deserves it.
Must be held to account. Okay, so this needs to move down. Because here's where he lied, and then that's the next bit. We're gonna have to fill in some conversation bits in between. time. We received testimony that you spoke on the phone with City Hall employee and told them Swan couldn't attend pre-entrance day for personal reasons. For personal reasons. Do you live with your daughter? The pre-entrance day, What was it my daughter said now? A slight cold, I think? Yes. Ah, I remember now. I knew it was pre-entrance day, so I asked my daughter later how it went. I don't live with her, of course, but I'm in the area and drop in from time to time. It's just... I don't want to leave her alone for too long, spending all her time wallowing in misery. I do remember that I was visiting a few days ago when that City Hall employee called. He asked me the same thing you did, Detective, so I think I said that she was doing well, that I was taking perfect care of my granddaughter. Detective, this is ridiculous. It's just one missed pre-entrance day at school. What are you interrogating me for? It's just one missed pre-entrance day, huh? That's the grandmother. I'm not sure if this is before or after. Never one for prayer. No matter how... He refused to pray even once as our baby lay sick. So this is the mother, not the grandmother. That can go over there. We'll come back to that. So one's mother. We've got a lot to do here. A lot of thoughts to sort through. When did her mother leave you? Hashtag divorce. Where was the other one that I had cry on, actually? Nope, I already used the one on that. She's dead, Detective. I have to open... Okay, so I can't do anything with that one. I need a date for that one. And I know nothing about that one. Fabulous. Okay, Oh man, this is interesting. Okay, stationery store. Did you happen to see the boy when you went to the playground to find Sawan? You know that playground near the stationery store, right? I saw that boy a few days ago. He went from the playground straight to the store. I remember wondering what Sawan was sticking so close to... Why... I remember wondering why Sawan was sticking so close to that boy. Why do you ask, Detective? Does the boy have something to do with the case? So this is someone who doesn't know... But I don't know who this one would be yet. It's definitely not someone who knows. It wasn't the ex-teacher because they knew. Candy brings us here. Have to open a lock to get to that one. Interesting. Just mark that off so that it's marked off. Mark that off so it's marked off. Candy I can't do anything with right the moment. What he stole. Yes. Okay. So we can do something with that. One of the cards was gone. Didn't you say that Auntie was telling the truth? Okay, so I have to unlock something to let me look at that now, but... That's a heavy burden. Have to open a lock to get to that one. To open a lock to get to that one as well. Okay, interesting. Phone. Only that. Okay. So we have to come back to that one. What he carries around. It hasn't... Okay, we haven't... Fragments containing the clue. Search for an answer now. No. I haven't gotten that answer yet. Why did you turn yourself in? We're not there. Why is everyone lying to me? It's like they don't want me to find this kid. Oof. That's connected to a lot of stuff. Reasons to suspect the mother. I'm not ready to point fingers at the mom yet. Be honest with you, I'm not quite prepared for that. Have to open something that connects to it. No. His location when she vanished. And that is an employee. He's... Okay, I'm guessing this is the guy who... I don't know. So that's a heavy burden for a 5th grader. I don't know what that one is. Okay, well... Was your son still there? I was under the impression that both children were at the playground. Okay. Was your son still there? I was under the impression that both children were at the playground. Myungo said he was with Suwon the whole time, but that he had no idea where she'd gone, so I scolded him. You're not making any sense. I was so desperate that I was too harsh with him. Even though it's my fault Suwon's disappeared, I failed them both. Please don't ask Myungo for information. Hashtag he won't tell you anything. What if I told you that there's no need for lying now? So I have to get something else before I can do that one. Silence is a heavy burden for a 5th grader. We know you weren't at the playground. Okay, so I do have something that connects back to that. But I can't do anything with it yet. Okay. Let's see. I think I've already looked at playgrounds recently, and yeah, there's not much I can do with it yet. Do you really think, Mr. Okay. Okay. There's got to be something more I am missing here. None of the fragments unlocked so far contain the clues I need. Okay. Interesting. Ooh, this is getting more interesting the further it goes. Taller. I haven't looked at taller yet. Thank you for telling me. There we go. That one's gonna be useful. Thank you for telling me, Myungo. I heard you're in 5th grade at elementary school. With your height, I bet the girls won't leave you alone. You're very tall for your age. Is it because you take after your mom? I take after her? Really? Am I really like her? That's a good sign. Yep, take me back. There we go. Okay, the brother. And we need to take this up the chain. He did not like being told he takes after his mother. Interesting. Am I really like her? Interesting. Okay. You seem to know Sawan's family well. Like, this is probably the previous teacher. Myungo's family, well, I've seen them since the children were little. Must have been, say, 3 or 4 years now. When they first moved in, I was sure Myungo was close to finishing elementary school. He's tall for his age, and he's very quiet, that one. His mother was picking out supplies for younger kids, so I showed her to the shelves older children might like. She laughed and said he gets that a lot. Myungo is mature beyond his years, and I don't mean his looks. It's normal for kids his age to only think of themselves, but he's always hanging back and letting his sister spend all his pocket money. Okay, so this is the stationery school or store guy. Not sure. Oh, well, that solved it. Beautiful. Okay. So that connects everything we've got on him so far. Tall for his age. Do you really think Mr. Kim is the culprit? Open a lock that connects this conversation. So we're not there yet, but it's linked to tall. Interesting. We're piecing together this poor detective's mind. The day Sawan's mother was discharged from the hospital. So that I would have to follow the hospital chain for. What he carries around. Promised. His birthday, huh? Young's birthday, I have no information on yet. And what he carries around. Birthdays. Okay, this might help. Pre-entrance day absentee list. Okay, so we have to follow up on that. The day Sawan disappeared. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that I need to find still. Time. Why did you turn yourself in? Where's Sawan now? Why didn't you report any of this to the authorities? Caregiver? I haven't... Caregiver certificate of employment. Nope. Playground. Playgrounds. Calling. The day the mother was discharged. Nope. Okay, are there any pieces that I can move to the correct people now? Who were you on... Oh, who were you on the phone with? The afternoon of... Is February 3rd... Check in, so we don't usually... How much to call in? Going to be... What was it now? A Best Caregiver Award. It's not the Sunshine class teacher. It's not the ex-teacher. Hold on. Shin... No. It's someone I don't have any information on yet. Okay. Was your son still there? So this should be the mother. Unless this is... I think there's another boy involved here that we don't know anything about yet. And we may... No, yeah, so that's Saewon's brother. So this is part of this. Okay, so this is definitely the mother. Was your son still there? So somewhere in the mother stuff that belongs. So this is the dad. Anything under name? Re-entrance day absentee list. Okay. Saewon's mother's birthday. Confirmation that Saewon is alive. Business as usual. She goes to kindergarten on weekdays. On Apollo, Saewon loves getting candy there. Can you get connections wrong and pin the crime on an innocent person? I don't know, because, like, so we're basically trying to reconstruct the memories of a former detective who basically seems to have kind of lost their mind on a case from, like, a decade before. Oh, the plus shows us the picture again. Okay, that's useful. Okay, so this is going to be the mother. I don't know where in her stack this belongs either, but we're going to move it up so it's above some of the less obscure stuff. There we go. All right, so. Correct, it's the same one. That's alright. Gosh, scared me detective, expecting the delivery man. Okay, so this would be the first thing, because this was before the entire investigation started. Of course, she is detective. Hospital. I need to follow up on some hospital stuff. What the brother carries around, and the mother's birthday. And I don't think that I've found anything necessarily important on either of those yet. Knew exactly what time in the afternoon the kid disappeared. But this isn't the mother, this is the aunt who we don't have access to yet. Because they went with auntie, not with mom. Okay. But yeah, no, it's distinctly possible that we may be able to pin the crime on the wrong person because we're reconstructing someone's memories from a decade before. Everything is... Other officers on the phone. Day the mother was discharged. Called? Day the mother was discharged. School. I have nothing on that one yet, and this one was... what the brother... We have to get more on... We're pulling at threads, but we're not... quite... Already found fragments containing clues. What is the correct date? Day Saewon disappeared. Is it February 3rd? Also, is this going to be, like, US date code? Or is this going to be... let's assume it's US for a minute. Say February 3rd. Okay. It is February 3rd. Okay, so it's US dates, not dates for anywhere in the rest of the world, because, you know, who cares about the rest of the world? So that one I needed phone or call or... I don't think I've... No, I have looked at surrender. I just don't remember where it led. Called. No, that brings me to list one. Day the mother was discharged. No. That's the other thing, is remembering what leads to the right place. Death or birthday, okay. Please don't lie to me. Did you say that Auntie was telling the truth? Or... certificate of familial relations. Certificate of familial... I'm wondering how much it matters what links I'm making, and if it makes a difference in what these show. I don't know if this has more than one ending or not, is the other thing. Troy Donegan... Donjian, I'm sorry. Dongjian. 8th of September... Or, I'm sorry, 008, September 15th, 1972, male. So that's the dad's birthday, the mom's birthday. This should be, right? Nope, deceased. Interesting. Married March 5th, 2001. Death September 1st, 2009. Okay, so that's... Okay, so this is... Got it. Child, so that's her January 3rd, 2001. And then that's, say one. Okay. So we can add the city hall. Okay, so that's already here. Interesting. So spouse is someone different. So Sewon's mother is not Sewon's mother. No, this is not the correct child. Okay. Interesting. Caregiver certificate of employment, pre-entrance day absentee list. So that's not really the mom. Oh. Okay. But there is another conversation, I think it's under the mom right now, that can be moved to City Hall. Store, mom said, daughter said, calling him up, I never leave the children alone when we're out together. Then I got a phone call. So that's the aunt. Your station searches park in the neighborhood, right, detective? The one with the pond. Office isn't exactly well staffed. Okay, so this is the city hall. And then we would have that before the certificate of familial relations. Oh, okay. feel like caregiver is gonna lead me somewhere interesting. Sewon's mother. Okay, Sewon's mother's birthday. Wait, hold on. City Hall. Her mother's birthday, December 25th. That needed to be a 1. Yep. Caregiver, death, and hospital. Caregiver, death, hospital. Caregiver, death, hospital. Caregiver. Yoink. How old was Sewon when Miss Shin-hyung first came to take care of her? I first met Hyung when Sewon was 4. That was a few years ago. When my wife died of illness, I was disappointed. I was despondent, didn't know how I'd raise the kids. Hyung was there to support us. They're called caregivers instead of nannies these days, aren't they? Hyeyoung is my children's caregiver. She's been coming in to look after the kids ever since my wife was hospitalized. She's befriended them instantly. I don't know how we could have coped without her. Sewon even calls her mom and treats her like one too. I could never thank her enough. But now I'm starting to think I relied on Hyeyoung too much. I mean, she's not exactly family, is she? Man, okay. So, interesting. What are the... Yeah, because these are dates in 2012 from Sewon's mother. But Sewon's mother... died in 2009? Hospitalized. Nope. Okay, hashtag died. Please don't lie to me. There we go. Okay, still progress. Please don't lie to me, Myunggo. Didn't you say that Auntie was telling the truth? Auntie told me that lying's not about what's good, but what's necessary. She said lying wasn't always a bad thing. It's the bad lies that are really bad. Mom said she'd watch over me from heaven. She said she'd watch over us even after she died, but that was a lie, right? There's no such thing as heaven. But Sewon doesn't know that. She's so stupid. Mom was lying. But does that mean that Mom was a bad person? Youch. Kid, you're asking the big questions. It's not your fault. Nobody in your family is responsible for this. And what if I told you that there's no need for lying now? So this goes... Okay. I really like her. Please don't lie to me. Okay, this does go after, but... saw that boy a few days ago, so that's not him. That's someone else. But who would this one be? I saw that boy a few days ago. He went from the playground straight to the store. I remember wondering why someone was sticking so close by that, so close to that boy. Why do you ask, detective? Does that boy have something to do with the case? Ooh. Caregiver? Maybe? Solid maybe on that one. Young's birthday, I have no idea where I would get that so far. Ah, I love this. Okay. We've got a few more connections now, a few more things to look at. So let's see if anything... Oh yeah, I didn't look at lie at the top of his up here. Hold on. Lie. No need to lie. Have to open a connection. It's not your fault. Nobody in your family is responsible for this. I mean, that does feel like a lie, I'm gonna be honest. Stationery store, candy, and hurt. I have nothing from the kindergarten yet. I do have a key, which means that... Hold on. There's one that specifically wants a key. Right here. Use a key to open the lock, yes. So we need crying time and name. Crying time or name. It's cry time. Name. Okay. Why didn't you report any of this to the authorities? She was with us exactly 108 days. That's the time Sawan lived and breathed with us. If only I could have held her at least once. Kissed those little cheeks. Or at least, if only I'd been able to hear her cry. Then maybe I would have been able to accept it. Sawan's mother still had milk for a baby who was gone. The crib was still so warm and it never seemed to get colder. So how could I possibly file that report? Looking back, it was her name. Her name was the problem. It's my fault for coming up with that name. I can't tell you how much I regret it. Instead of giving her strength, that name marched her forward all alone like a rhino's horn straight past us, like a gust of wind. She slipped through our fingers, attached to nothing in the world at all. So this is the dad, but this is insinuating that the kid that we're investigating, Sawan, is, No, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the teacher, but he only spent 108 days with her. If only I could have held her at least once, kissed those little cheeks. From a teacher, that's a little weird. No, wait. This should be able to be changed. This should be the dad, not the... I'm confused. I'm very confused by this one. I'm very confused by this one. Okay. Does that mean... that this is also the ex-English teacher? Because that's interesting. I'm coming up with more questions than answers. That's fine. She's dead, she's been dead all this time. Interesting. Okay. So this... Already explained everything to the officer. She's still missing. How could someone take her? Okay. Suppose I've never seen her cry. Only I could have been able to hear her cry. Like to surrender myself to the police. It's all my fault. Okay. We're getting somewhere, and somewhere is more confused. Cry. When did Sawan's mother leave you? We've been divorced for about 5 or 6 years. I'm a monster, aren't I, abandoning my wife when she needed me most? But at the time, I thought it was all for the best. That we'd reached our limit, that we'd only hurt each other if we kept on living like this. That's what I told myself. When our eyes met, I would face the emptiness inside, and it was excruciating. Because I knew that void could never be filled. If only I could have cried it out, or if only we could have cried it out together and kept each other going. But we struggled to help each other. We were making no progress at all. And one day we realized that it hurt more people to deal with our pain together than alone. So we chose to go our separate ways. That was our decision. To run from the wounds instead of confronting them. To let the blade drop on the guillotine. Interesting. Okay, so this... Yep. So then that's... Hurt. Candy. Young's birthday. Is someone alright? Hashtag divorced. Why did you turn yourself in? Explain to me how you took Sawan. When was the last time you saw Sawan's father? Do you call him often? Okay. When was the last time, or how did you, alright. Explain to me how you took Sawan. I was a junior high school English teacher all my career, ever since I finished teaching, teacher's college and military service. But after the divorce, I quit my job at the school and started tutoring and doing cram school gigs. And well, my income isn't particularly stable. I needed the money, I'm sorry. I went to the playground intending to kidnap any child who seemed to be alone. I was there for more than 30 minutes and saw a little girl playing by herself for a long time, so I lied to her. But once I brought her with me, I got scared and didn't know how I would even ask her parents for a ransom. That's how I was. I was afraid and decided to stop. Nothing more. Okay. Problem and all, but well. I've seen her cry. Explain to me how you took her. After that, I think. Okay. Junior high school. Don't know anything about that one. What does Yongo carry? Lied. Why did you turn yourself in? I feel like this But this goes, I've never seen her cry. This, she's dead belongs over this explanation, I think. But there's probably a step between I'm missing. Okay. Promised? Young's birthday. How would I know her birthday? I haven't seen... Pre-entrance day absentee list. Caregiver certificate of employment. How do you remember the time so precisely? Yep. Creeping willow behind the water, the lonely to look at. I'm going here, young. Which one is... Sewon's brother and... Neither of those is helpful. He carries around. I still haven't gotten to that yet. Calling. When was the last time you saw Sewon's father? Ooh. Did you call him often? What's that man got to do with Sewon going missing? We cut off all contact years ago. The nerve of him walking out after what happened to the girl. Detective, what I mean is... Sewon was always sickly, but that man divorced my daughter, leaving her to care for the poor baby alone. But well, he's not the sort of man who'd take her away from under her mother's nose. Please, it's nothing serious, detective, really. Okay, so that's the grandmother. Question is, where in order? When was the last time you saw the father? And then she is the one who says that, yeah, father surrendered himself. And then she claims blame somewhere in there. It was me, I made him do it, it's all my fault. Why did you turn yourself in? Divorce, surrender time, and unsolved case. I had a red dot on one of those. Hold on. Oh, no, that's the reason to suspect the mother. What he carries around. I've already found fragments containing clues. I'm not ready to search for an answer on that one. Hold on. If you solve this case, does that make you smart or the detective stupid? I think Deduce Me is right on this one. I think it's a little bit of both. Why can't it be both? Ooh. Well, and there's a part in here from the very beginning where it's Sewon's father basically asking you to leave it be and not investigate right here. You mean you've already filed a missing persons case? Sewon's officially registered as a missing person then? Then please, that's good enough. Detective, I'm begging you. Please don't look for my daughter anymore. Stop asking what she is, where she is. Keep her completely out of her mother's reach. Let her just live life somewhere. Just say that we went out to the playground like she always did and vanished. That's all. A perfect crime with no witnesses, no suspects. So please, please leave this case unsolved. I'll do anything, please. I beg of you. So, like, already, this was like one of the first things we opened. And we're at the point of like... Bring on in Hyun's relationship. And this is the... Yes, in his stuff over here... There. But maybe there's more to that relationship. So I need birthday or caregiver. If I click that, does that show me? Aha, it does. No, it doesn't. Oh, wait. Yeah, it does. Neat. Ah, this is the caregiver company. Okay. Caregiver certificate of employment. Shin Hye-young, February 5th. Okay, so now we have a date of birth. Client Choi Dongjon. We hereby certify that the above caregiver has been assigned to the above client since July 1st, 2009. Certificate issued February 4th, 2012. And the support center, which we can just mark that they exist now. So we needed her birthday, Hyo-young's birthday, February 6th. But at least it removes the option that the mother was the culprit, right? Technically, I don't know who the person that's being listed as the mother is, because the mother was dead before this happened. The mother died. Hold on. Yeah, the mother of Sawon and Myungo died in 2009, and this conversation that's confirmed to be the mother is 2012. I'm so confused. Okay, Hye-young's birthday, I forgot what it was. Hold on. Support center, caregiver, February 6th. That needed to be a 0. What am I doing? Ah! No! I'm failing as a gamer. There we go. So now we need playground, silence, promise, and hurt. Hurt's an interesting one. Silence is a heavy burden for a 5th grader, but Myungo refused to give in, so I investigated everyone I could. Residents, passerby, local businesses, everyone. There's a little indent in the wall behind the flower beds. You can see the playground from there, but not the other way around, at least for the children playing there. That's where you were hiding, wasn't it? To watch over them from afar. When I went to the playground, I would hear the other mothers gossip about me and the children. Myungo would have heard it too. I understand why people would get the wrong idea. Someone calls me mommy, so it didn't hurt if Myungo hated me. I could only imagine how he felt whenever his sister called me that. A few weeks ago, Myungo told me to stay away from him, so I just wandered around for what seemed like forever and found that spot. Myungo. I know he must hate the fact that I exist, but I may not be his mother, but still, I promised Myungo that I would take care of them both. Or I'm sorry, no, I promised Wonyoung that I would take care of them both. And now, look what's happened. I only looked away for a second. I only took a second to rest because I'd been standing on my toes the whole time. Okay. This is definitely not the caregiver. This is not Hye-young. This would be someone else. And it's not the Apollo Stationary guy, because he knew them by name. Wouldn't be... I'm not sure who that one would be. we'll come back to that. Her location... I mean, this says where she would have been if she's telling the truth, but if she's lying... hurt. Need to connect a conversation. Confirmation that she's alive. So I don't have either of those yet. Silence. What if I told you that there's no need for lying now, and we know you weren't at the playground? So at some point we find out from someone else that this is a lie. Lie detector tests show why is everyone lying to me? I'm investigating a little girl's disappearance and maybe death? And a little cooperation from literally anyone would go a really long way. Sunshine class teacher. This one, I don't know. I'm finding more questions than answers. Okay, that only leads to why did you turn yourself in right now. There are a couple that say that I can... reason to suspect the mother. I've already found the fragments containing the clues. Search for the answer now. The only one I can think of for this is the fact that it's not really her mother. Check that in a second. We're going to see the other ones that say that I can do something. What if I told you that there's no need for lying now? Young goes testimony that shows his mixed feelings on Young. Which one is... oh, yep. Shows his mixed feelings on her. Wait, nope. Where is... yeah, there we go. Lie, silence, lie. Here we go. What if I told you that there's no need for lying now? What if your lie is the bad kind, the kind that's only going to hurt Auntie and Sewon? Why is not saying anything a lie? If I tell you, if I say what really happened, then Auntie sounds like the bad guy. But she's a good person. It's my fault, not Auntie's. It's all my fault. Does that mean Mom's a bad person? Okay, so far we've got all of his stuff connected. Not saying anything. Young's location. But... I have to open the lock to connect... And I don't have a key yet, so... I've got to make a few more connections. Okay, but we're getting somewhere. We're making important progress. We're going to check some ones that I haven't looked at in a while. Reasons to suspect the mother. That one... The only thing I can think of on that is the fact that the mom is dead. Oh. See, now you remember. Someone turned himself in. But you're still suspicious of Sewon's mother. Are you misremembering something? No, that's not it. My memories are hazy and out of order, but those were the exact conversations. Sewon's father clearly said, Keep her completely out of her mother's reach. That's right. That's why he wanted to keep the case unsolved. And there was more testimony. All right then. Let's start by looking for reasons to suspect Sawan's mother. Your doubts about her will unveil more of your clouded memories. Because it's absolutely true that Sawan's mother is the reason the girl went missing. Search for reasons. Okay. And there are 3 reasons. Okay. First off, City Hall. No. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So then let's go to the conversation with the mother real quick, and let's just... Night fast sleep. Must be tired, poor thing. First day of school. Not much. Sorry, detective, you might have to wait a while. What brings you here? No, okay, so it's not a jealousy thing. There's something about that that's also off. Make sure she comes out the first day of school. The grandmother, hold on. No. None of those, huh? I'm missing something then. Here we go. Stay away from him. See, the first thing they already brought up. Oh, well, they said that one. Apparently, I needed to come back and click on it. Okay. No. Please don't look for my daughter anymore. I beg you. He's there to support us. No. I'm going one too, but now I'm starting to think I relied on Young too much. Okay. Yep. She's not exactly family, is she? I'm scared, please hurry. She's gone. She was lying and covering stuff up. Aha! Okay. Tall, which is part of this one. There. Okay. Do you really think Mr. Kim Gong-suk is the culprit? I don't know. Do you really suspect him, detective? Even if he were in financial trouble, I don't think he would stoop that low. Instead, he'd... Detective, I'm not trying to defend Gong-suk. I'm only telling you what I saw. There was a woman skulking around that playground, always hanging back. I thought she was suspicious because I kept running into her when I went around looking for Sawan. She was in her 30s or early 40s, a little on the tall side, maybe around 10 centimeters taller than me. She was always looking at the playground from afar. Always behind the wall, behind the flower bed. You wouldn't see her unless you were really looking. But she could probably keep an eye on the kids at the playground if she really craned her neck. I saw her there, standing on her toes, trying to look over the wall. By the way, Detective, what was the name of that girl Gongsuk confessed talking? Interesting. This was my conversation with Sawon's mother, right? Probably. I don't understand. She acts as if she knows the man who turned himself in. That's the mom! Could, interesting. And asks about her kidnapped daughter as if... Because the caretaker claimed to be there. The mom, it says, is dead, but then this other person is labeled as the mom, but this person who's labeled as the mom was suspicious of the other Yeah! Oh my god, that could just be the mom. She was having a dissociative episode? Ma'am, do you remember those things that made you stand on your toes? What does that have to do with anything? Do you remember the things that made you stand on your toes? In my case, I only really stood on my toes for one reason. Affection. To keep my eyes on something or someone that I really cared about. Ma'am, you were on the force for nearly 30 years. This is the only case you left unsolved. Remember how you closed that file and placed it in the cabinet? Were you standing on your toes? Tall woman is mom. Okay. No, you might be right. Okay. So he, the former English teacher, this woman knows Sawon didn't die, got adopted by another family. New mom didn't want to take care of her. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. This is starting to... Running out of time. Okay. Yeah, because the tall... Yeah, because her brother was tall for his age. Oh, wait. Okay. Time. We've got a couple things. Why did you turn yourself in? Where is she now? And what he carries around. We don't have anything on that yet. Hold on. What's this one? Where is she now? The key reason the English teacher needed funds. Already found the fragments containing the clues. Somewhere in here. Somewhere in here there's something about... Premature. No into trouble since I was pregnant with her. Of course she is detective. Somewhere in here there's something about child support. So much to buy. Oh, I hope she may soon. First looked her friendly. father's house, shoot him out, stubborn, picky, stable, and money, I'm sorry. Almost, I thought you took her with you. And took her, oh no. Chatting about, asked him to come by. Calls, I think he panicked. Part way up. Weeping willow trees by the water. Nope, same game. I don't know if you noticed, but there's something he always carries around with him. Affect him even if financial trouble. No. It's behind the wall. Running TikTok detective. I'm sorry, detective. We spent so much time to. Nope. Slated with families, make sure the paperwork is all there. Never went for prayer, refused to pray. Good to take her, maybe it was because he couldn't afford the child support payments. There it was. I knew there was something about child support in there. Okay. But that actually reminded me that one. She didn't want her way. She's been kidnapped. All possibilities are on the table, as if. No time here. This one is someone very impassioned, but I don't think it's the mother. I was in the hospital. That one is the mother. How are you? I'm from the City Hall Administrative Office. Okay. So this one goes to the City Hall and needs to be put all the way at the top. Because this was when they talked about the... basically the free bonus. Your kids slated. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, afternoon 3rd. Employees complain. Check in too often. This one. Oh, wait. This one doesn't belong here. This one belongs here in the support center. There we go. Having stuff in the right place does, in fact, make a difference. Brains, yes. Okay. Yes, use my key there. Birthday and name. Birthday. Why on earth? Pre-entrance day absentee list. Ooh, the music. Oh, yeah. Number of absentees, 4. List of absentees. Name, date of birth. Seo Hojin, Kim Byom, Hwang Inchel, and Kim Sewon. That's not the same Sewon. That's not the same one. Interesting. Very interesting. Because this is Choi Saewon, this is Kim Saewon. They're different Saewons. But one of these Saewons died as an infant. I think. Already found fragments containing clues. Hyeyoung. Trying ba. Hold on. After phone call history. Did the babies get switched? Ooh. We know you weren't at the playground. I understand you didn't want to cause Myungo any more guilt, but you should have known better. How did you know? I told him he didn't need to say anything. He knows he doesn't have to tell you. It wasn't his fault Sawan is missing. It wasn't your fault, Myungo. I should have been watching you, even if you didn't want me close by. That's what I told him. I made sure he knew that I was the one who lost Saewon, not him. Okay. What's the one right after this? Nope, that's all. Okay. Saw that boy a few days ago. I don't know whose conversation this one actually is. It would have to be someone who doesn't know him. Maybe him? Why? But he mentioned knowing the brother. No, it wouldn't be him. I'm gonna put this over here for now because I don't know who that would be, and we'll come back to that one. But we could have a switched at birth situation. I don't have enough to get into why did you turn yourself in yet, but I had another one that I unlocked that I forgot to go back to. Where's Saewon now? She's with her family. I made sure she had something to eat for dinner before I dropped her off. Once I brought her to the playground where I first found her, she knew exactly how to get home. I rang the doorbell and stood at the entrance waiting for her parents. It was only a few seconds, but in that short time, I wondered again and again if I should just leave the girl there and run. Detective, I was being stupid. I was stupid to kidnap her, and I'm still being foolish now, having the nerve to feel guilty about it all. The girl's father. He pulled the girl tight into his arms and wept. I knelt in front of him to apologize, but he bowed so low I thought he'd fall, and he thanked me. He thanked me for bringing her home safe. What I did was indefensible. I will accept my punishment. I know that won't make up for the suffering I caused their family, but I will live out the rest of my life in sincere contrition. Wow. So We had 2 different kids named Seowon, right? The day Seowon. Okay, well, I've been. Yep. Hold on. Okay. Truth is she's dead. That goes there. Already explained everything on the phone to the other officer. This goes down, I think. How could someone take her away in broad daylight in the middle of a condo complex? This does not belong here. This belongs here. Okay. That's part of what's throwing me off here. Some of these I organized before I got some answers. The day she died. She was only with us for 108 days, he said. Did I have a date of birth for her? Exactly 108 days. So if I can confirm the right birthday for the right Seowon, I have 2 date of births, and I know that they lived for 108 days. 8/4. Okay, so date of birth 2004 4/3. So we have Seowon August 1st 2004, formatted differently as well. Quick math, hold on. So we would be into 108 days. So which one do I want to figure out first? Hold on. Probably easier with the earlier birthday, yeah. So then you would do an additional 18, so 22. Okay, let's try that. I have not, because I have also forgotten. Hold on, date, no, where is it? Where is the one I'm looking for? Hold on. Okay, yeah! Okay, unsolved case, surrender. Wait, hold on. Here. Unsolved case, surrender, divorce, and time. Time, there we go. Yes. Why did you turn yourself in? Mr. Kim Gong-sok, even the victim's family hasn't reported you. This isn't just about taking the fall for Miss Song Min-young, is it? Ooh. I heard she reported Sawon missing. When Min-young's mother told me, I was worried for Min-young, but at the same time, I was a little glad. After we got divorced, she was in therapy for a long time. We should have gotten help back when she began to think Sawon was alive, but missing, no. As soon as Sawon passed away. Min-young was finally discharged from the hospital on Sawon's birthday. We went to visit her grave together, and as she ran her hand over the grave, her eyes were empty. There was no hope. Min-young is still chained to that day, circling round and round that moment forever. I started to think that she'd given up completely. She was utterly spent. There was no drive left in her eyes. I began to doubt she would ever recover. I think that's why I was relieved to hear that she set out to find Sawon. Because now, she at least had something to live for, something that would sustain her and keep her alive. Maybe she knew that too, deep down. Maybe that was why she reported Sawon missing. Maybe she thought Sawon was better missing and alive than dead. That the missing persons report would anchor her to this world, just like I hoped with her birth certificate. She was grasping for a lifeline, just like me. I know this sounds ridiculous, but this is the whole reason I'm here, Detective. I want to make a request. Could you please mark the missing person's case as unsolved? Please let Sawon live. Let her live forever somewhere far, far away. Oh, that's rough. Okay, so we actually need to pop back up to here and move this over to Kim. Okay. I may still be missing something to link this one in. That was interesting, though. The day she was discharged was her birthday, which I don't remember. I just did math based on it, and I can't remember it. City Hall. Okay, it was... Wait. There we go. So now, kidnapped phone call playground. Phone call. I think we're getting close to the bottom of this, and this is, interesting. You mean Sawon was taken because she was mistaken for Miss Song Myung's late daughter? I asked Min-young what happened. She said she heard someone call Sawon's name and finally found her, after going from one playground to the next. It was a boy, probably the girl's brother. He was telling her to wait. Wait right here, Sawon. She didn't tell me anything else, but I can guess what happened. Min-young must have gone and brought her back like a mother picking up a child who'd gone out to play. The girl was so sweet, too, calling my daughter Auntie. I'm sorry, Detective, I really am. I should have called right away, but then I couldn't bear to do it. Not until you paid that visit. After you dropped by, I was terrified. My hands were shaking, and I found myself dialing a number, calling Sawon's father. I told him that Min-young seemed to have brought home a stranger's child and pleaded with him to get the girl back to her parents. I would cause a diversion, I said, so he could get the girl away from Min-young. I know she may not be well, but I don't want my daughter to end up a kidnapper. I was being shameless, I know. I knew exactly what I was doing, Detective, but until Sawon's father turned himself in, even though he's done nothing wrong, I thought we could at least... I thought we could act as if nothing at all had happened, sweep it all under the rug, knowing full well that Sawan's father is just as precious a child to his parents as Minyoung is to me. Wow, ha 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 ha. This needs to move down a little bit further in the order here. I don't know exactly where it fits, but it's down. Ho ho ho, okay. So there's some stuff that might be attributed to Sawan's father that needs to move over to Kim Gong-sok, and some that might be attributed to Sawan's mother that need to be attributed to... Oh my goodness, this is a mess. We have two Sawans, therefore we have two Sawan's fathers, we have two Sawan's mothers, we have the grandmother, who is the grandmother of the dead Sawan. Oh, this is a cluster. Okay. So then... City Hall employee, just to mark that off. Oh, this is so interesting. Okay, kidnapper. But you're not being contrite, you're lying to me. Interesting. And I have a key, so I can either unlock that, this one, which I have no information for, or this one, it's not your fault, nobody in your family is responsible for this. I know, right? It's a mess. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. You're not being contrite, you're lying to me. Name and kidnapping. Name. A nose by any other name would still smell as well. You're not being contrite, you're lying to me. Who was around when Sawan was taken? What was she wearing? And which direction did you take her? You couldn't answer any of these questions. This confession that you're the kidnapper, it could take away Miss Song Myung's chance to repent and seek forgiveness for herself. We can't wait for her to recover before setting things right. You know she'll be racked by guilt. Could you live with that on your shoulders? Your ex-mother-in-law is in the next room. She told us everything. Consider how she might feel having just reported her own daughter to protect you. You've been financially supporting your ex-wife's therapy all these years under the pretext of child support. This won't be much different. Just take a step back and support her from afar. She has a long battle ahead of her being treated in custody. Detective, where did it all go wrong? Did I mess up from the beginning? Sawan's name. I never should have given her that name. Ah! Oh, this is so interesting. Okay, I was relieved to hear that she set out to find. Okay, so this is... That sounds ridiculous. Whole reason I'm here. Already filed the missing persons report. Keep her completely out of her mother's reach. Let her just live life somewhere. So this goes down. This entire brick here goes down. Yep, okay. So there's that. And then what's the first section again up here? She's dead, Sawan is dead. She's been dead all this time. This goes somewhere in here, and we'll figure that out in a minute. yeah, Song Min-young. A little glad after we got divorced. Okay, so this is... So his wife is dead. Their daughter is dead. This is her mother. Okay, so it would make sense why she would be talking about... Wandered off, she didn't stroll away. And then there's the... Where is she? The caregiver. Hold on. Under her stuff. Promised him I'd take care of him. No, it's not under her stuff. Under someone's stuff, there's something about not knowing why she was hanging out with some boy. This, I think, is him, the father. I'm trying not... No, this could also be the caregiver. Could also be her as well. When did you last see her? At the playground, exactly 3:33 in the afternoon. Disappeared 3 hours ago. Looked everywhere. What do we do now? I'm trying not to panic, but the worst is all that comes to mind. So this is either her or the dad. Hospitalized. No, I still don't know what he carries around. I've already found fragments containing the clues. Search for the answer now. It's saying that I've found something containing the answer, but all I know is that Mom died. Told me that lying's not about... She'd watch over us even after she died. But we buy her candy. Only there for a bit. I ran back, but she wasn't there. No, okay, so yeah, this is after. Oh man, okay. How someone's grandmother instructed... How someone's grandmother instructed for the kidnapping. I think I know what that means, contextually. In here, there's something about getting a call from her mother because of something... Make sense anymore. Too harsh with him. Security guard went over. went to mom's house, security guard. All I could think of was Sawan. I feel like it was something in this conversation, though exactly how Sawan's grandmother instructed for the kidnapping. We'll come back to that one. Hold on. So this one does not belong under the mother. This one belongs either under the father or the caregiver. Anything about someone's activity? No. Okay, no, this is the dad. Up you go. Okay. Oh my gosh, you scared me, detective. I was expecting a delivery man. Could you please knock instead of ringing the doorbell next time? My daughter's taking a nap. Tired, poor thing. Yep. Okay, so all of this said he was with Sawan the whole time. This could be the father. Or it's the caregiver. I think this is the caregiver. That works as well. It's not quite what I was aiming for. There's one the whole time. It's either... I failed them both. Please don't ask me for information. He won't tell you anything. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's her. Exactly where, I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure that's her. I was so sure someone would be at the playground, but when I got there, I didn't see her. So I assumed my daughter took her along. I think you might be making a mountain out of a molehill. This is the grandmother. A lot of these I discovered much earlier, and now I've got to like clean house and figure out what actually goes where. Okay. So this ends at... I'll have a stern word with my daughter. Honestly, I can't believe she's gone and called you. What's that man got to do with someone? We cut off all contact. There we go. I had no idea she was keeping such a close eye on Sawan. Mommy's the saddest person in the world. This would be... maybe? Kindergarten teacher's testimony. I'm so grateful to her. I had no idea that she was keeping such a close eye on Sawan. There's something Sawan always says to me. Mommy's the saddest person in the world. She never says that when her father was around, of course, but I think I understand what she means now. Sawan genuinely thinks that way. She couldn't handle it otherwise. That's why she refuses to cry. Makes her the saddest person instead of her mom. She couldn't handle it if she were the saddest person in the world, getting pity from everyone. She's still so young. Children who are forced to grow up fast end up with better control of emotions. Breaks my heart. Okay. Maybe that there? Oh. This one would actually be the mother. Because she didn't know who the brother was. Yep, okay, so that marks off. Okay. A possibility on the table as if... Okay. This one is Sawan's father, for sure. Well, I don't know. It could also be the caretaker. Nope, it's the father. Okay. Oh man, we've got 2 keys and more things we can... Confirmation that Sawan is alive. Confirmation that Sawan is alive. There we go. Surrender and hurt. Is Sawan alright? Which Sawan? She says she had a great time at Auntie's house, and that's when she said she missed me. She was brought straight back home. I'm sorry I didn't contact you sooner. I knew you were out there searching, but I was too caught up in the moment. I didn't ask any questions. All I knew was that my daughter was gone for 3 days, and now she was back. He's the one in the wheelchair. Okay, there's a few things that I need to sort to him as well. I could bow 100 times over and it wouldn't be enough. Sawan's back, completely unharmed, and that's good enough for me. Detective Sawan is, well... She's been hurt in the past, and I can only blame myself for adding yet another wound to her young heart. Tell me, did that man surrender to the police? Okay. So... I think I moved it over to her... Disappeared. I told him he knows he doesn't have to tell you. Playground. No. Okay, where did I put it? Over here just to have it out of my way? Let's see. Since last summer, about I was having a hard time keeping up with the payment schedule. Really suspect him, detective. Yeah, so this... name of that girl? I'll confess to taking. Interesting. The trees reminded me. I took a stroll there last year. Okay, so this should be the caregiver. Weeping willow trees, took a stroll there, reminded me of the mercy of the world sometimes, unyielding boil meat. Building from those ruins. But he was managed quite well in his own right. Never leaves home without it. This might not be. Hold on. Might be the Apollo stationary guy or the teacher. But I'm not certain on either of those. But it feels a little too informal. There's one in here. When she missed me, she got brought straight back home. First met 4 years later. There's one in here about someone not going, not taking them to the park because it's not wheelchair accessible. This should be the caregiver. I looked up for only a minute. And that goes there, yep. Sorry, I'm trying to chase down all of the various missing links where I can before I add anything else. Okay. Expected, even if we're financial trouble, I don't think they'd stoop that low. Really possible. I think that it might be while she's gone for a long time after I had someone. We'll spend so much time in the hospital. There we go. So that should link all of the mothers together, I think, at this point. Yes. Okay. I go sometimes one of them is... Okay. No, so I already had that. Okay. So what am I missing? How someone's grandmother instructed for the kidnapping. Instructed for? Hold on. Calling my daughter auntie. Right away, but there we go. Okay, I was misunderstanding that one a little bit. Okay. Name playground school. Playground. Okay, we'll unlock that in a second. I'll get to it. It's coming next. When did Minyoung set out to find Sowon? It must have been when she got the notice saying Sowon was due to start elementary school. It pushed her completely over the edge. We got the notice from City Hall last December. I checked most of Minyoung's mail before she does, Detective. We had no idea what might set her off. But this notice about Sowon starting school, my heart nearly stopped. I had no idea that they'd never reported her death. There it was on the document, Sowon's name printed clear. I could only imagine how it would make Minyoung feel. No, I'm sorry, Detective. I'm not the victim here. I don't deserve to wallow in pity like this. I can only apologize. At the time, I balked. I was frozen, and Minyoung saw me and read the notice. She looked so happy, she smiled so brightly. I haven't seen her so delighted in, well, it must have been years. The pre-entrance day was at the end of December, and Minyoung insisted we had to go out and get Sowon's uniform fitted. She was fussing about getting all her shots and picking up school supplies and wondering what Sowon was taking so long to come home. That's when it started, I think. She went around all the local playgrounds looking for Sowon. Ah, psychosis. Now do you understand why Kim Sowon is still missing to this day? Yeah, I do. I didn't even get to finish connecting everything, but man, I understand. Great work, ma'am. Now you remember everything. You understand why Sowon's case was never solved after all this time? Thank you for telling me that she came home safely, that I didn't doom a little girl to her death. Mama went a little nuts. Thank you, truly. I remember how surprised I was when I first saw this case. Everyone involved was lying for one reason or another, whether it was to protect a loved one or to keep a promise to someone important. And what about you, Your Honor? Are you keeping a secret for someone just like them? Actually, yes. For your sake. The educator. Interest. Cold case detective. The cold case team doesn't usually take on cases like Sowon's. The police get more than 20,000 missing children reports every year. The cold case team just doesn't have the capacity. One quiet disappearance in a sea of violent unsolved cases. No one would have spared the case a second thought. But I couldn't tear my eyes away. Not when I saw that name. What? Her name was Kim Sowon. Choi. That's Seo for rhinoceros and Won for origin. Just like me. We're the same age, too. Wait. You can't mean... Ma'am, look at my badge. It's me. Choi Seo-won. The missing girl you found. How dare you make me feel things? How dare you? It's me, Choi Seo-won. Please don't cry, ma'am. Are you really her? Are you really Sowon? I'm so sorry. I failed you. I failed you completely. Don't say that, ma'am. I'll always be grateful to you. I don't deserve your gratitude. I never found you. That's only technically true. You remember what Kim Sowon's grandmother said, right? Here, I even have a copy of her testimony. Senior Inspector Jong Byung's visit was the reason I was sent back home. But I was only following protocol, just doing my job. Ma'am, I'm an adult now, and I know what work is like. No one followed that protocol back in the day, and they still don't. But you were different. You carried out your duties to the letter, even though you could have slacked off and been perfectly covered by by paperwork from City Hall. That's the reason I made it back home. After all these years, I tracked down all the people involved in the case one by one. I spoke with Kim Sawon's family, my father, my brother, and my dear mother, Hye-yong. Everyone asked me to pass on their thanks to you. This isn't my first time visiting you, you know. Miss, I turned a blind eye to the suffering of so many people in my career. You might thank me, but I still... Alright then, let's do this. I'll set aside time for you later. Some time to look back and blame yourself and feel guilty for everything. But right now, we're racing against the clock. It took longer than I expected to piece your memories back together. This isn't our first conversation, is it? Then you know that my mind is being constantly bleached. What could possibly be more important? It's exactly the reason I need your help. Before those memories disappear again. Remember Song Min-yong? The woman who took me away and reported her daughter missing? She was sentenced to 1 year of treatment in institutional custody, wasn't she? Yeah. Da da da. That was a twist. That was fun. Yes, the sentence ended ages ago, but she's still in custody. But how? Once you're institutionalized, you can't be discharged without special approval, and Song Min-yong hasn't been granted a single psychiatrist's evaluation. Don't you think she needs our help? Tell me, miss. Does that mean you've forgiven Song Min-yong? This isn't about forgiveness, ma'am. It's abundantly clear, even from a purely bureaucratic perspective, that we need to do something. Sawon's case is still marked as open, and no case should remain unsolved. They said the thing! Uncover the truth. I love this tremendously. Somi, thank you. This was awesome. Sung Yi, the composer. Wonderful music. This was awesome. I loved every second of this. Weird, just like patching together the I kind of wish that I had said no and finished piecing together everything, but it made sense. Also, it's been 3 hours. Speaking of which, drink some water. Yeah! We did it! It was a collective experience. Thank you for coming along, my beloved family, and thank you for playing. And thank you guys for coming along. Oh, this has been such a delight. Also, I like their logo. And we're back to that title screen. No case should remain unsolved. How dare this game make me feel things. Okay. Thank you so much for coming along as we solved this mystery and found a lot more confusion for the first little bit there than answers. This was so much fun. I'm gonna have to digest this for a few days. That was great. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it, you know, here on the Discord, on the comments when the VOD goes live, wherever. And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to mull this one over for a few days. But thank you so much for coming along on the adventure, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.